Nearly 3.7 million people are expected to live to be 150 by 2050. Yet for a lot of older adults, boredom is their worst enemy in retirement. As a retirement life coach over the past decade, I have found that here's really what's happening. Sometimes retirement feels like being stuck in a limbo of procrastination with lots of free time or lack of free time. That happens a lot too, but not enough motivation to actually get up and do all of those things you dreamed of throughout your career and all those things you talked about. And it's often not for lack of great ideas. As backwards as it sounds, it is possible to have all the ideas and good intentions in the world and still be bored and just feeling over it. And then procrastination and lack of motivation kick in. To help you avoid what I call a retirement rut, in this video, I'm going to share 7 powerful ways that real people have overcome boredom in retirement, straight from successful retirees in the Second Wind Movement community. In case you're new, I am Meyer, the founder of Second Wind Movement and a life coach for older adults who are striving to turn their retirement years into their best years full of purpose, passion, and meaning. And a big part of that is staying engaged and motivated and fulfilled, of course. And here's the thing. Even though most people see retirement as the time of life when you get to do what you want, where you want, live free, sometimes that freedom doesn't feel so free when it's aimless. And that emptiness and that lack of clarity can turn into boredom really fast. So my caveat is that these examples that I'm sharing today are meant to inspire you and ignite your own unique ideas from the inside out. Because what lights you up is going to be completely different from what does it for someone else. It is hugely important to first gain clarity. I call it inner action before outer action, which most people just skip over. And also to not just copy what other retirees are doing. That's got nothing to do with you. So first and foremost, it's all about awareness. To heighten your awareness, number 1 is practice mindfulness daily. I don't care if it sounds cheesy or like a buzzword. Until you seriously master this, it's worth getting over that cheesiness. It's so challenging to be truly present. We are constantly being pulled in all directions by screens, stimulants, our many obligations and commitments. So being present and aware and mindful of what's going on around you can and will help enrich your experiences and your relationships and your connection to both yourself and other people. So the benefits of mindfulness, especially with a daily consistent practice, are cumulative and basically limitless. Stephen from our community said, "I'm someone that used to be more comfortable thinking in the past and future, but not in the present. During my retirement, this shift has been particularly helpful in adapting to this new phase in my life." The way that Steve has fought boredom is by staying in the present wherever he goes. This is one of the biggest opportunities in life to really focus on mindfulness. It opens up so much awareness and spaciousness to step into a more and more authentic life. It also helps you stop looking back in sadness or worrying about your fears and future unknowns, which is common in creating retirement anxiety. So may you get into a daily practice of simply grounding your awareness in the present moment. Make sure that it resonates with you. There are so many options out there. When you do that, you are so much more available to connect with others for the sake of real connection instead of validation. Which brings us to number 2, engage in your community. I don't have to tell you that social interaction is important. And the biggest caveat here is to spend your energy on people who are aligned, not just anyone. I love sharing my tip about discerning between your circle of influence versus your circle of concern. Once you really get into this daily practice, it's going to change everything. The people in your circle of influence are those who encourage your growth. They challenge you to be better and different. Versus your circle of concern, these are people who tend to be stuck in the same fear-based thinking or news or gossip. So not only does this specific discernment help you overcome boredom in retirement, but it also boosts your health and improves your overall well-being more so than just any connection, especially the ones that drain you. No one knows this better than another Steve from our community who started going through the community section in Rewire My Retirement, and he started to shift and find where his deeper happiness was. He went inward for the answers, he followed the process, and not only did he become a stronger, more loving patriarch to his family of 22 grandchildren, but he also started making friends everywhere he went from all walks of life, literally on his walks. As he became more and more aligned with his authentic self, so did his interactions and connections with people, no matter who they were. Steve said, "I'm known in my community as the guy who walks all the time. I'm acquainted with people all over the place because I have made an effort to introduce myself and get to know them from a deeper level." Steve's wide range of friendships and relationships is rich and meaningful, to say the least. And it's worth mentioning, there are many benefits of simply connecting to others for lighthearted fun too. Light or heavy, authentic social connection is worthwhile because once you have that, you're in a much better position to help others, which is number 3, contribute your unique skills. It is absolutely worth sharing your unique skills and gifts in a completely different, unique way with an audience that you actually care about. This is where you get to be creative and put together a hybrid myriad of formats and mix in new ways of expressing and helping others. Just follow the example of Susan from our community, a devoted person who, again, first went inward for that unique clarity and then found numerous ways to contribute to the world. Her passion projects are varied, and she keeps herself busy with a wide range of groups and causes, from running a local food bank and garden club to being an appointed chairwoman that helps save the local schools. She said, "I look for opportunities to make the world a better place, not just by volunteering, but by setting up structures to include others." So yes, Susan likes traditional and non-traditional forms of giving back. She says it's great to volunteer, but she believes if it's important enough for her time, it is imperative in her book to bring others along so that the activities continue. If you can really do that very first step of gaining clarity before anything else, you will go beyond the traditional forms of volunteering, and you go beyond the stereotypical classic things that people think retirees do. This is how you get energized from the inside out and fired up about creating a legacy that goes beyond just your own involvement and beyond your own lifetime. And one of the best ways to do that is number 4, combine your passions and your purpose. One of my favorite distinctions between passions and purpose is passions are for you and purpose is for others, as in giving back. So imagine combining the two. You share your unique gifts and skills and or learning a new skill set and sharing it to an audience that you care about, or simply just gifting something to the world by putting your passion out there. Whatever it is, my PSA announcement is that retirement is the beginning of a big growth journey. Some people spend more time in retirement than in their long careers. So please do not fall into the trap that your passions in the past, before you got super busy, are necessarily going to be the same passions that you have moving forward. Because you are meant to grow and change and evolve and develop at all stages of life. And specifically, retirement is a prime chance to do that. Your purpose is as unique and different as you are in your current life phase, no matter your age or employment status. Let's be real. And for example, Rembert from our community runs a small business selling comic books, card games, and board games. His career path was impressively diversified, from radio DJ to university professor. He said, "I spend my time writing a blog entry each day about music from the 50s to the 80s, and every 6 months or so, I collect the entries into a self-published book." This is a beautiful intersection where you can enjoy doing work you love, leaning into your passions, and then adding a facet of your purpose. So remember that it's not just about filling your day or just getting out of the house to stay busy. Going deeper for inner clarity is going to inform how everything that's aligned for you shows up. Beth from our community is a prime example of volunteering in an aligned way, just like that, not just to overcome boredom. She said, "The activity that has kept me most happy and as a bonus benefit, healthy in my semi-retirement is volunteering to maintain the local cross-country ski trails. It's passion, purpose work that's unique to her. I will share that I see time and time again people experiencing so many crossover benefits across all 5 rings of retirement, just like Beth. When they do the clarity work first, social, mental, emotional, physical, and even spiritual and your financial health all combine and flourish. It all integrates together. And speaking of physical health, number 5 is stay physically active and vibrant. When Claudia was in her 50s, she joined a local running class and loved it, but life got in the way and her daily exercise regimen basically hit 0. Fortunately, she was sick and tired of hearing myths about aging. You're not too old to be fit after X age. Claudia transformed her life after following the Rewire My Retirement program. Her growth journey boosted her physical, her emotional, and her social activity and retired life in general. And she said, I did something I never thought I could do again. Life doesn't have to be boring and mundane. We all can do more in retirement than we think we can. Yes, it's about starting simple and in increments. It stems from your awareness and clarity and morphs into your action and consistency. It is never too late to start moving. It is never too late to be proactive in your planning. And that brings us to number 6, be prepared and plan micro steps. Research shows that transitioning to retirement can lead to decision paralysis, where you have so many things you're thinking of doing, but the days just fly by without any solid traction. Clarity will change everything. Mary from our community was stuck in a similar rut until she started implementing the stuff inside Rewire My Retirement and basically became unstoppable, which might not be for everyone. Each person has their own rhythm, and this one was hers. Mary said, when I gain clarity first and decide on an activity, I take the time to set it up so everything is ready in advance. So for example, if it was her pursuit as an artist, she applied microstepping to researching, listing options, deciding what to do, gathering supplies, finding a studio, and so on. If it's exercising, she first gathers her mat and weights in the room first so that she just has to show up. And more importantly, she proactively structures time into her schedule to make room for everything, for her passions, her priorities, and even her adventures. She actually went on a summer-long boat excursion with one other person on the boat. So everything has a landing pad and a rhythm. Nothing meaningful gets left behind, not even spontaneity and adventure. Which brings us to number 7, find your adventures. If anyone knows what it's like to be adventurous after retirement, it's Karen from our community. She said, I explore, I go on adventures, I'm confronting some fears. I've jumped out of airplanes, rappelled into caves, hiked through jungles, and am actively seeking out critters that scare me like spiders and snakes. In just the year and a half after she first retired, she went straight into making up for lost time and overcoming her fears. And more practically, she overcomes boredom by working on projects that have long needed attention in her life. Doesn't matter if it's in or out of your home, it is worth finding a new and different way to step out of your comfort zone and embrace adventure. The novelty in your brain, that literal new connection by doing something different, will provide a sense of adventure and creativity literally in your brain by connecting new synapses. All in all, boredom is the pain that happens when you have unused potential. And that's risky because what do you do when you're bored? You probably subconsciously head straight to an easy and cheap dopamine hit to avoid that pain, like watching TV, checking your email, scrolling through social media or Facebook, or binge watching something. If any of this sounds familiar, that's very normal. Devices are designed to give you those cheap dopamine hits. And you get to heighten your awareness of it all and be intentional about gaining clarity first, going deeper, and then letting that inform your daily structures and all the details fill in. So may these real people from our community springboard your own ideas. Remember that overcoming boredom is just one part of a fully energizing and purposeful retirement. So if you want comprehensive help achieving your ideal retirement life, just head over to our free workshop and please watch How to Turn Your Successful Career into a Successful Retirement. Thank you so much for watching. I am Meyer, your very passionate retirement life coach, and I will see you in the next video.